What up, y'all? It's me, Chris, here to give my afterthoughts on last night's HBO Boxing After Dark card. Pretty good night of fights. First up, we had Robert the Ghost Guerrero against Daud Yordan. Unfortunately, this fight ended in a no contest because accidental clash of heads in the second round caused a nasty cut over Guerrero's eye. And Guerrero told the referee in the ringside position that he could no longer see because the blood was getting in his eye. That may have been the case. Only he knows for sure. Anyhow, what we can tell briefly as the fight did last, Guerrero came out the aggressor, throwing the harder punches, I thought. A lot of clinches in this fight, as short as the fight did last. Looked like it was going to be an ugly fight just based on the clinches, but Yordan appeared to be the faster fighter of the two. He did land quite a few clean counter punches to Guerrero's head. I don't think he has the most power, but he did land quite a few clean, like I said, counters. So, it'll be interesting to see if a rematch is made. I honestly don't think there will be, because I think Yordan looked like he might have posed a few more problems potentially to Guerrero than what they would have thought. I think they may have thought it might have been an easy fight for Guerrero, but from what little I saw, I think that Yordan could pose problems. Not saying that he would win the fight or Guerrero would win, I can't really say for sure, but I don't think it'd be an easy fight either way. The good thing for Yordan is he remains undefeated, so that's good for him. I'm kind of interested in seeing a rematch, or seeing Yordan again, just based on this fight, since I'd never seen him before. Next up, we had Vicious Victor Ortiz against Mighty Mike Arnaoutis. Ortiz gets the second round TKO. Really impressive victory for Ortiz. Like I said before the fight, I hadn't seen much of him. Had seen quite a few of Arnaoutis' fights, and I've never seen him beat this decisively. First round was a round where they were kind of filling each other out. Not too much happened. Second round, however, Ortiz caught Arnaoutis coming in, caught him with a clean lead left hand, stunned him, backed him in the corner, and just let his hands go. Hit Arnaoutis quite a few times with some flush shots until the ref stepped in and stopped the fight. Could be argued that the stoppage was a little premature. I don't believe so. Ortiz caught him with quite a few clean punches. One uppercut that Arnaoutis actually, his whole body kind of dropped down briefly till Ortiz picked it back up with a few more punches. He wasn't really intelligently defending himself, wasn't throwing back, wasn't trying to clinch, was just absorbing punches, so the ref's looking out for the safety of the fighter, so I think it was a good stoppage. Where Ortiz should go from here, I could see a fight against, I think a good fight would be either Herman and Gojo, who's coming off a loss to Juan Narango. I think that'd be a good test for him. Probably pick and win that fight, but I think it'd be a good fight for him to move up. Or possibly Ricardo Torres. I know that may be a little bit of a stretch, Torres just recently held the title, but I think that style-wise, I think that might be a good fight for Ortiz. Torres has a good strong punch, but other than that, I think Ortiz probably has better overall skills maybe than Torres. Plus, I think it'd be a really exciting fight. But either way, hopefully Ortiz will be moved smartly by Golden Boy Promotions, because it appears they got a potential future star in the makings on their hands. So hopefully they'll move him accordingly, so not rush him into anything too fast. Main event, James Kirkland against Joel Julio. First off, I was wrong about my prediction. I picked Joel Julio to win this fight by either decision or stoppage. The reason I picked this was because I thought that I've seen Kirkland hurt before by fighters. He doesn't have the best defense, Kirkland that is, and I'd seen him hurt and he dropped by lesser punchers than Julio. Plus, I thought Julio was a better technical fighter, but the way this fight went didn't matter. Kirkland came out from the get-go and was just all over Joel Julio. Just on him from the get-go. Joel Julio was on his heels this whole fight, backing up for the majority, if not the entire fight. They were throwing a lot of punches back and forth, a lot of power punches, made for exciting exchanges because you knew both guys had a lot of power, and both guys are vulnerable to good shots as well. But Kirkland just seemed to have this fight in hand from the get-go, to be honest. Julio looked tired after a couple rounds. Didn't look as confident as he did possibly coming in. Joel Julio did land some good punches in the third round particularly. Looked like he caught Kirkland, may have briefly stunned him with something. I believe he thought he may have hurt Kirkland, started really coming forward, throwing punches. but Kirkland gathered himself, threw some punches back, and caught Julio coming in with something that stopped Julio in his tracks. And Kirkland kind of ended up, taking over the rest of that round, although there wasn't much left to it. Kirkland looked really impressive, just he was not going to be stopped this fight, He just came out like a demon, and this whole fight just kept moving forward. Was the aggressor, landed landed more blows, it appeared. Definitely landed the punches that seemed to have more effect on his opponent. As I said, Joel Julio did land quite a few good punches, but, even if they stopped Kirkland briefly, he just kept marching forward, He was a man possessed in there, as they say. Good fight, good back and forth action, but Julio just never seemed to be able to really be in control of the fight, whereas Kirkland did. Come 6th round, more of the same. Kirkland controlling the fight, being the more aggressive fighter, landing the more effective fights. Although Julio did land some good punches in the 6th round as well. But come the end of the round, Julio said something to the corner, and as soon as he said that, the ref waved it off. Julio's cut over the eye. Eye was swollen, almost swollen shut. I think he realized that he wasn't going to win that fight and just didn't want to be in there anymore. Just couldn't deal with the pressure that Kirkland was putting on him. I think Kirkland broke him down both physically and mentally, psychologically. So credit to Kirkland for a great win. Really showed his stuff in there against a good opponent. Really impressed with this win. What's next for Kirkland? They asked him, he didn't really say. I think a good next fight would be Ricardo Moraga, who was supposed to fight Alfred Angulo in his last fight but didn't. I think that'd be a good fight. Good mesh of styles. I think it's a fight. It'd be a good test for Kirkland to see where he's at. That'd be another level to progress up. I think he could win that fight as well. Just a really good fight. I'd really like to see it. I think the fans would really be hyped for that fight. Another good fight I'd like to see him in possibly against Sergio Mora, only because Kirkland, I think, is going to have trouble with technical boxers. Guys that could really take advantage of his defensive deficiencies, which he still does have quite a few of. He's easy to hit. He's very easy to hit. But he wouldn't have to worry about Mora. Mora doesn't have a lot of power, so if Mora did hit him clean, he wouldn't have to worry about getting stunned or dropped, but I just think it's a style that he needs to really, he needs to fight a guy that's a good technical boxer, because some of the guys in this division that have belts, like Vernon Forrest, Sergio Martinez, Daniel Santos, those are guys that are a lot better boxers than him, technically. So he's going to need to fight a guy with those kind of styles to see how he'll deal with him before he steps up against the champions. And I think Sergio Mora would be a perfect test for him at this point. So those are a couple fights I'd like to see him in. Either way, great night for him. Great night for Victor Ortiz. Both looked really impressive, in fights that they were, I think, expected to win in and did so impressively. As for Guerrero, unfortunately the cut happened. We'll see what happens from here. But I'm interested in seeing him fight again. But anyways, that's pretty much it for now. Until next time. Oh wait, real quick. Afterthoughts. UFC 96. Rampage Jackson versus Keith Jardine. Good event. A lot of first round KOs, TKOs. Really exciting night of fights. If you didn't see it, if you're an MMA fan, be sure and check it out. You won't regret it. Main event, Rampage against Jardine. Rampage won the fight. Went to a decision. I thought he would stop Jardine. He didn't. But he won the fight, more or less. He just wasn't aggressive enough. I think he could have stopped Jardine if he would have been more aggressive. But he just wasn't as aggressive as he normally is. I don't know what the reason is for that. But he did get stunned briefly in the second, it looked like. Jardine kind of tried to go after him, but Rampage countered with the punch, stopped Jardine in his tracks. Rampage hurt Jardine at the very end of the fight, but didn't have enough time to finish him off. He should have just been more aggressive throughout the fight. I think could have stopped him. Next up for Rampage, title shot against Rashad Evans in May. They were talking trash to each other after the fight. Really looking forward to seeing that fight. Not sure who I favor. If Rampage fought against Rashad, though, the way he fought this fight, I would pick Rashad to win, but I think Rampage will be a little more up for that fight. Either way, should be a really good fight. Really looking forward to it. But Rampage was the big winner on this night. Good, like I said, UFC 96 was a really good event, though, so if you didn't get to check it out and you're an MMA fan, I really suggest checking it out. And move on to the Rampage Rashad championship fight. Really looking forward to seeing that. But anyways, I'm out of here. Till next time, bye.